This week's coverage is brought to you by Arkanesis, the proud creators of the Naus Flow system. You may have seen some of their boats around the boat park and around the racing arena here at Henley Royal Regatta. That's because they're also the official data providers of British rowing. Coaches love the Arkanesis system. You get live 500-metre splits, you get cadence and all sorts of bits live fed to coaches from the water, and it makes debriefing after a session incredibly efficient and provides you with so many analytics to take forward into future training. Hello everyone, welcome to the End of the Island podcast live on Saturday, tea time at Henley Royal Regatta. It's me, Fergus Mainland, joined by Zoe De Toledo and Chris McCarthy once again in the tea break as Radley College are carrying their 8 out of the boat tents after a gigantic race in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. We'll come on to that and all the racing so far today, but Chris, Saturday of Henley Royal Regatta, vibe check from you please.
Vibes are pretty high. It's the racing's been really good, non-stop. You mentioned that PE race, we'll get onto it, but that was incredible. I think there's been enough upsets to sort of, to keep my fantasy Henley chances looking a bit shaky.
Bleak.
But not. It's been close. There's been close racing otherwise. There hasn't been too many walkovers or anything like that. It's been good. I feel like we're in for a cracking Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. Zoe, I'd like to formally apologise. We didn't make it along to Tinny's at the car this afternoon.
It's quite rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year.
Next year
we've decided to expand. We're going to have snacks. There's going to be tables. It's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tinny's in the car park. That's been fantastic. How was your rest of your Saturday so far, though?
I'm actually feeling a bit despondent, to be honest.
Oh, no.
Because it's Saturday, and in 24 hours, this is all going to be over.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to wait another year to do this again. I'm going to have to spend another year begging Tom Morgan to let me be involved with JRN. It's sad,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I understand, because it's been a remarkable day of racing. I feel we got to the end of Thursday, and you're like, still got we're halfway through a long way to go.
And
But
suddenly it's gone.
Friday's flown by,
Yeah.
Saturday's flying by in the process of it, and Sunday will be in a blink of an eye as well. But let's talk about the racing. We've mentioned Radley College. We've got a big crowd is starting to appear.
Radley College, who tried to take the stern section out the wrong
way,
and are now trapped by Headington's clap out.
Yes, that will be coming up in a few minutes' time. Zoe, you'll be looking forward to that. But let's talk the junior side of things, and we'll build up through the age groups in this episode. We haven't got any interviews to bring you today. We've been too busy all over the shop tracking everything. But let's start with the PE. Zoe, Chris said it was sensational. I was up in the grandstand in Stewards watching it, and that was the best roar, I think, out of the whole day. We had some outstanding clubs and crews coming down, but that one between St Paul's and Radley was like nothing else today. I
was actually in the car park, and I could just hear it coming. I was watching on the YouTube commentary, and St Paul's they just decided not to care. I think they went out there and they thought, we don't care. Yes, Radley are the favourites. Yes, Radley have been faster all year, but we know how to do this.
Yeah.
They just didn't look back.
Yeah.
It was very impressive.
It was outstanding. Chris, the 8-time winners are back in another final at Henley Royal. We wrote them off. JRN called Radley College to win the PE this year. They're out in Saturday's racing, and St Paul's march on. They are inevitable.
Inevitable is the word. I had this feeling this morning. I didn't pick them for my streaks, but I had this feeling that, I've seen them around a couple of times and just thought they looked like a St Paul's crew. I think Zoe said it right. It looks like someone who knows how to win. And I think just as they had transitioned onto their sort of mid-race rhythm, they were still dead level. It was not a big margin at any point.
So much of the race, wasn't it?
Probably 3 minutes in, they were still level. But you just always had this sense that Paul's looked like someone who they're in their comfort zone. They're in their element.
They didn't look bothered at all.
Winning a tight race at Henley, bang. That's St Paul's business.
Yeah.
Winning a tight race at Henley, that might be Headington's business as well, who are just being clapped out behind us.
Headington just boating. Royal America Rye are already out in the water. We'll come on to the Prince Philip in a few minutes' time, but I thought it was just rounding out the PE. I thought the way St Paul's rolled through the enclosures, Radley looked ragged, and I think St Paul's broke them. They were outstanding.
Absolutely.
But on the flip side of it, the other semi-final, Teddy's against KCS, bad day to be Will Hadland Horrocks.
Sorry, boss.
Sorry, Will Hadland Horrocks.
They did well, though. They got to the Saturday. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you'll be delighted with that. But I think I just felt the way Teddy's attacked that race was so impressive, and it never looked like KCS were going to be able to come back and touch them.
The Teddy's crew looked really good, and I think, before I saw that, you probably would have said, well, whatever happens, St Paul's Radley, that's going to be the winner. But I don't know. I like to think that Teddy's might be able to throw a little spanner into the works tomorrow.
Yeah, most certainly. Well, let's march on. Let's go to the Folly Challenge Cup, Chris, because yesterday I'm sort of a bit lost for words. I'm still lost for words with the performance that Sir William Borley's put in over Windsor Boys. But then fast forward to today, Leander go and do the business over Sir William Borley's.
That Leander crew are really impressive. I had them on commentary for an earlier round, and they'd kind of flown under my radar a little bit in terms of pre-regatta research and things like that. And once I sort of dug into them, I was like, I think this is a serious outfit here. It's been a while since Leander have won. Leander have never lost on the Sunday of Henley in the Foley. Every time they've made the final, they've won. Yeah, came up with it myself.
Very good. Love that for you.
It's definitely not a Fraser fact.
Yeah,
no, I did notice it earlier in the week. The Greek kid up in the bow was selected on the Greek team in their quad and said, "No, I'm going to stay with Leander. I'm going to win the Foley."
Yeah.
I think that's enough of a statement of intent. They were run absolutely ragged, though, at the end of the race. They looked like they're about to pass out. Whereas in the other race, I think that's still up for grabs tomorrow.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Zoe. Scullers went out and I would say comfortably beat Hartbury, as comfortable as it can be in a semi-final. Do you think Scullers can beat Leander tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I agree with Chris. I think the Leander crew did look really good. Again, you never know. It's Henley, but if I had to pick one now, I'd probably stick with Leander.
And when it comes to the junior girls side of things, Marlow Rowing Club have been, they're going for the quadruple. Head of the Charles.
Quintuple.
Yes, the quintuple. Never been done before. Head of the Charles, schools head, national schools, Henley Women's, and now going for Henley Royal. They're untouchable, aren't they?
I mean, I think you've got to want to back them, right? Because they've got so close to winning this event so many times now, and you want to see them finally succeed. So, I mean, fingers crossed them. They looked really, really impressive today.
Yeah. They were faster than Scullers too. Also, shout out Scullers in both events, which I think's only happened once before. We've just lost our lights.
We've just lost our light, but we'll keep rolling.
But don't worry, Ed.
We'll keep rolling.
You just sit there.
Ed's just going to sit there.
And just watch whatever you're watching.
Yes, but we're going to keep
doing
rolling.
his Sudoku or whatever.
You were saying about Scullers though. They were fantastic.
There's only been a boat in both finals. I think once before, which was Marlow 23. I think it was. They lost them. They lost both.
Yeah.
But I think Scullers will think that they are in for a shot with both of them. I also love that the girls are rowing in the dark horse, and they are, I think, a little bit of a dark horse in the event. They did push Marlow.
You like that at Henley Women's, didn't you?
Yeah. They pushed Marlow hard at Henley Women's. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility for either of them. They are 100% the underdogs in both races, though.
Yeah, most certainly. Let's roll on. We've done the juniors. Big chat on the juniors, of course we have done. But let's roll on to the student side of things.
Sorry, I can't. I'm just too distracted by it.
Too distracted. Well, I'm
He's
locked
really
in.
struggling
it's
today.
Okay, I'm dialed in. He's managing. Chris is... Everything's falling apart. It's the Saturday of Henley Royal Regatta, and it's all going a bit Pete-tong up here on the balcony.
I'll be back.
Temple Challenge Cup,
Yes.
Zoe. You and your Oxford Blazer, but a great day for Cambridge University, who came out on top of Oxford Brookes.
Yeah, and I think Cambridge... the Cambridge crews across the board have looked good. That felt really uncomfortable to say, I'm not going to lie to you. But in the ladies' plate as well, they really looked good. And I'm really interested to see how they do tomorrow.
Yeah, and on the other side of the draw, Washington against Neuhaus. Chris, I think either of those programs, Washington or Neuhaus or Cambridge as well, we've been tossing and turning about who could win it, but in the end, when it mattered on that overseas semi-final, Washington got it done.
Yeah, certainly. Celebrating Independence Day, and we'll get on to it because there has been a couple American wins as well, but they looked superb. Washington held calm under pressure. Neuhaus threw everything at it. I think Washington technically looked a little bit better. Did we talk about this yesterday with the meddling of the two crews and stuff? I think Washington didn't look like a crew that had been, was half 2v, half 3v, or was it 1v, 2v? They look like a cohesive unit. They can win it tomorrow. So can Cambridge. Yeah. I was a little bit surprised by Brookes. I didn't think that was...
I think that's the quality of Cambridge.
I think so.
I really think that's the quality of Cambridge.
Can I also point on Brookes? No Brookes crews in the finals.
Yeah.
Really?
Whatsoever.
No composites?
There's composites.
Okay, but no
that doesn't
full
count.
Brookes crews.
No full Brookes crews.
I mean, I think that Brookes template were possibly the fastest template they've ever had.
You reckon?
And I think that goes back to the quality of the Cambridge crew.
Yeah.
Better than 2014 and sort of 2016.
They're definitely up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Zoe, who wins then? Cambridge or Washington?
I'm putting my money, I can't believe I'm saying these words, on Cambridge.
Wow. Big call.
Yeah.
Well, we're all in the Matt Edge Supporters Club, so we're going. I think we've all gone with Cambridge as
Okay.
well. Looking forward to that. On the Ireland side of things, Washington through to the final in the Temple Challenge Cup. Washington also through to the final of the Ireland Challenge Cup,
Yeah.
Zoe, after beating Durham in a thriller.
That was a great race, and Durham actually, I think, outperformed what they've done throughout the rest of the season.
I think you're
and
right.
Washington looked good, but they didn't look unbeatable. And I think Brown on the other side of the draw also looked good. So I'm not sure I'd call that one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is what I've been saying about the island all week, that I couldn't pick a crew, and I still can't pick a crew.
Yeah. Who's this? Who have we got boating at the moment? I mean, this is looking... it's sort of looking Prince Alberty, isn't it?
It's
Cox
definitely-
4.
It's definitely Prince
So
Alberty.
I think it's Imperial College London. Yeah, I see
you're
just
right,
voting
yeah.
for their race against Triton later on this afternoon. Chris, it's been a big talking point for us at JRN because the island is now starting to be the American show, and we've got no British crews in the final this time around. It's Brown against Washington. It speaks volume for the strength of collegiate rowing, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I don't mind seeing no British crews in the final. I think it's kind of funny. Come over here and get your
Fired.
event taken away from you. It's been a while since there's been 2 Australian crews in a final. Forley 13 maybe. But yeah, that Brown crew looked fantastic. Brooks, asked a couple of questions of him, kept him honest, but no match for it. And there was an Australian in both crews. Summer Kellett in the Cox's seat, who coxed the Prince Philip winning St Cath's 8 a few years ago. Sophie Reiner in the stroke seat of the Brooks crew, whose brother's on the senior national team. So well-credentialed crews on both parts.
Well credentialed. Zoe, PA, big one coming up. We've got IC boating just now against Triton.
That's not the big one.
That's not the big one. It's Newcastle, Oxford.
That's right.
Oxford, of course, winners at Marlow. Newcastle, great throughout the winter season, peaking just at the right sort of
Sure,
time. I
you
hope.
go for that.
I think that's the final the day early, coming up at 6:40 this evening.
I really want Oxford to win that. Really want Oxford to win that. I think, like I said yesterday, it'd be great for the programme. And they looked really good. I think they're a solid crew. They've been unbothered so far. They've handled everything really smoothly. So looking forward to the afternoon racing.
Oh, definitely.
There was some ridiculous margin clear of everyone at Marlow Regatta in the time trials, a bit closer in the race, but it was like 8 seconds or something ridiculous in the time trial was Oxford. I think they've been the form crew. Newcastle have been I don't want to say a surprise. You picked them, but
Of course he did.
they're not like the most polished crew or anything like the most impressive, but they're
gritty, they're northern.
They're northern, they're gritty, exactly. Yeah, they it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, by the time that this comes out, people will know the result of the Prince Albert Challenge Cup.
And one of us will look like an idiot.
Exactly. But it's okay because we haven't got an episode to reflect on it tomorrow.
Great.
The other one that we have coming up as well, we've got the Queen Victoria, and I think, Zoe, it's set up to be a Reading
Event.
Yes, Reading
Yes.
event, sort of a Reading fanfare.
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking at the draw tree at the moment as to what is coming up. He's got it in front of him. Reading B go against Skoll, selected crew. Reading A go against the University of Birmingham. I mean, in its first year, part of me kind of feels like it would only feel right to have double Reading in the final.
I
Given,
think we're going to have at least one Reading
I
crew
think
in the
so,
final. The Skoll crew are a little bit more of an unknown, I suppose. Reading Ava's. Yes, nice to see 2 British crews in the final, but I guess also nice not to see an A versus B final.
Yeah. Well, speaking of A versus B in the final, Chris, we can sort of roll through to the club events, and I
But
appreciate.
this is my big call for the regatta.
Is this your big call for
Yeah,
the regatta?
Walgrave to be won by Thames.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll send you my invoice.
Perfect. Well, we've got that one in. Well, we can just take that one off. Chris, Thames will be finalists in the Wargrave, the Thames, the Wyfold, and the Bridge. It's the best club programme in the country, isn't it?
Best club program in the world, isn't it? I don't think that's
This
at
year.
all. This year, yeah. It is. I think I've written it in my briefing actually about the women's side of things. The Wargrave, wholeheartedly the best women's club club program on the planet. They're attracting people from all over the planet, post-university or maybe before university's gap year, like all over the place to row for them to win the Wargrave. And, plenty of talent back in that Wargrave A crew from last year who missed out to Molesey. They had to deal with a little bit of disruption. They had to paddle down the course because the Leander crew had an equipment failure or something, and re-rode just at the start of the lunch break. Sorry for delaying the lunchtime show.
That's okay, apology accepted.
So my apology. Anyway, they were untroubled, that Thames A boat. They've looked the form crew the whole way through the competition.
But if you hadn't seen that Thames A boat, you'd look at the Thames B boat, but they look really good.
Yeah, they look really good, and they put up a serious fight back to Molesey. Molesey looked gutted, and I would.
Unsurprisingly,
I think I saw a couple of things on Instagram. I think those Thames girls are absolutely over the moon with that row, and
as well they should be.
Yeah, they important to note they raced in 2-4s at Henley Women's, so they haven't been a cohesive unit in the 8 over the last month or so. So they have kind of gotten a little bit better through the regatta, I think, as we've progressed. And I wasn't overly surprised. It's funny. It was like, this makes sense. It feels right. But the only other thing I'll add to it, I'll add 2 other things to it. One, there's an Australian in both crews. And 2, the second thing I was going to add was that 2 Thames have had Thames A, Thames B in the final of the Thames before, 2018 was
17.
Yeah, 17.
No one has ever done it in the Wargrave, so this is the first time that they've been able to do that.
Very good.
It's felt like it was a long time coming, doesn't it? They've almost done it a couple of times.
Yeah, they most certainly have. As we said, that we're racing the Wargrave, the Thames, the Wyfold and the Bridge. The Danesfield side of things is shaping up, I think, exactly how we all predicted. It's going to be a Leander versus Molesey showdown in that event. But speaking of the sculling, I think one of the big standout moments was Reading A being knocked out of the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup today. They went out to the under-23s, which I think would have sent quite a lot of fantasy rowing picks out of the window. It certainly did for me. But that steers us quite nicely onto the intermediate events as well, because Zoe, one of your walks mentors, Erin.
Yeah, my girl.
Your girl, Erin Kennedy, won her semi-final of the Ladies Challenge plate today.
Yeah, and the Leander crew looked really good, and they were quite unshakable today in the race. That Cambridge-Harvard crew, though, on the other side of the draw, they look quite spicy as well.
Yeah, that surprised me a bit. Yeah.
So their race against Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, me too. And I think I'm going to back my girl and my club, but I would be nervous for that Cambridge-Harvard crew as well.
Yeah, what a race. I mean, retiring, hanging up a Cox box after this year's campaign, what a race, regardless of the result to go out on. That should be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
I think it would be incredible racing tomorrow.
Yeah. There's an Aussie in that one too.
Is there? Brilliant. Right, well, that's bingo. We've got it. Excellent. Across the board, we've touched on the Bridge. There's some great racing across the other intermediate events with the visitors coming up as well. The Bridge, actually worth mentioning the other one, University of London, that Molesey Boat Club composite beat Yale, so that sets up a thriller against Thames Rowing
Almost
Club.
didn't.
Almost didn't.
Yeah,
but
that was I thought that Molesey UL crew were going to wipe the floor with everyone this week. They have not had it all their own way.
Yeah, well, they march on to the final. As we said, they'll go against Thames Rowing Club. But I suppose some quick fire for you coming up. I've put you on the spot. You didn't know this was coming up. But looking ahead to perhaps for some of the premier events, Lauren Henry roll an agreement to win the Princess Royal.
Agreed.
Ollie Zardler to win the Diamond Sculls.
Agreed.
Controversial.
I know. Grand Challenge Cup, though, Great Britain or Italy?
Great Britain.
I've got Italy on my fantasy team. Just thought it'd be a bit different. There's some nice synergy with who's doing well at the F1 this weekend, and then Great Britain, Italy battling it out. It's probably going to be GB. I'd love to see an Italian win, though. They always put on a good show.
Yeah. Remenham, Great Britain or Italy?
Great Britain.
Great Britain.
Fantastic. And probably the other big controversial one will be the men's quads, Italy or Great Britain?
Great Britain.
I'm going to say Great Britain just because they were great last weekend. Yeah. Before Lucerne, I was going to say Italy.
Agreed. Now I've changed my mind.
I think I changed my fantasy pick last minute. That was one of my changes. But again, that's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, it's all set to be fantastic. Just finally then, our final episode from the balcony. You've done some quick fire, but very quick, a final that you're most looking forward to tomorrow. We've talked quite a lot, but which final are you most excited for tomorrow? Zoe.
Ladies' plate.
Ladies' plate. Cambridge and Harvard against Leander. That'll be awesome. Chris McCarthy.
Temple.
Temple, as we said, University of Washington taking on Cambridge.
Yeah.
That should be
That's a
superb.
good shout.
I think that'll be great. I'm really excited for the club events too.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. And I think I'm going to see Grand. I'm excited for the Grand. I think Italy were very impressive at Plovdiv. Great Britain have been slower out of the blocks than some of the other programs, but it's their home turf. You know, they love coming and racing here, and they've been building nicely, I think, through the World Cup seasons. Looking forward to that. Yeah, really excited for that. Really, really excited. And I think the bridge will be great. I could start listing them all off at this point, but I think they'll be,
As it goes through.
I think they'll be fantastic. And that, I think, just about does it for today's show. Chris and Zoe, it's been so much fun having you here on top of Crew Inquiries. It doesn't sound particularly glamorous, but our studio, our home
The
from
boat
home.
park balcony.
And
That's a bit
the...
nicer.
Got to come up with something
Yeah,
better.
quite. But it's been wonderful for the past 5 days of Henley Royal Regatta to bring the podcast home to Henley Royal Regatta. 5 years ago, we had our first ever live episode of the podcast live from the press box out on the river, and what a special moment that was. And it's been so awesome to come on this journey and to bring the podcast here, doing live shows during tea break all throughout the regatta. You won't be hearing from us from tomorrow, though, because there is no tea break on finals day. Instead, we'll be doing our usual Black Monday review of all of the racing, some of the highlights from finals day, and all of the other narratives that have been taking place here at Henley Royal Regatta. Huge thanks, as I said, to Chris, to Zoe, to Lara and to Sasha, who have joined us throughout our coverage. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've still got one more day to go, though. Finals day of Henley Royal Regatta. But you'll be hearing from us, as we said, on Monday. That's it for today's episode, and we'll see you next time at the end of the island.